It was on this day, on August 19th, 1915, that the White Star liner, the SS Arabic, was torpedoed and sank by the German submarine SMU-24, just 50 miles south of Kinsale. This incident occurred just months after the sinking of the RMS Lusitania, to which was already in a subject of controversy due to the unrestricted submarine warfare ruling imposed by Germany. Protests over the Arabic led Germany pledging to end unrestricted submarine warfare with no further unannounced sinkings. This would be short-lived until January in 1917 that the rule book was thrown out the window. Germany's decision of resuming unrestricted submarine warfare and attacking any and all ships, including civilian vessels in designated war zones without warning, would force the United States to declare war on Germany on April 6, 1917. The SS Arabic is a British registered ocean liner that entered service for the White Star Line in 1903. She was originally intended to be the Minnewaska, which would be one of the 4 ships ordered from the Harland and Wolff shipyards in present-day Belfast, Northern Ireland, by the Atlantic Transport Line, to which fell victim due to the recession and the shipbuilding rationalization following ATL's incorporation into the International Mercantile Marine Company, and was transferred before completion to the White Star Line as the Arabic. This would be the second ship the White Star Line named Arabic, with the first one serving from 1881 up until her being sold to the Holland American Line in February of 1890 as the SS Sparendam, and later broken up in August of 1901 for scrap. The name Arabic would later be reused again. The SS Arabic was modified before her launch, to which included an extension to her superstructure aft of her third mast and forward of her second mast to accommodate more passengers. She would have one funnel and fitted with twin-screw propellers driven by quadruple expansion engines arranged on the builder's balance principles. The Arabic was launched on December 18th, 1902, and her maiden voyage began on June 26th, 1903. She would serve the Liverpool to New York via Queenstown route, as well as trips from Liverpool to Boston route 2 years later in 1905, to which she sailed alongside the Cymric and the Republic for 2 years, and the New York route during the winter months. In June of 1911, our beloved RMS Olympic entered service, beginning her Southampton to New York route, thus transferring the Arabic back to Liverpool to Boston route. Then, on April 15th, 1912, the RMS Titanic was lost on her maiden voyage following a collision with an iceberg. The sinking claimed 1,496 passengers and crew into the North Atlantic Ocean. Among those that died was one of the biggest heroes on the night of the sinking, and that was bandmaster Wallace Hartley. He was recovered by the cable-laying ship, the Mackie Bennett, on May 4th, 1912, 2 weeks after the sinking of the Titanic. On his autopsy and observations, he was found fully dressed with his music case strapped to his body. His body was recovered as number 224. Wallace Hartley's body was transferred to the Arabic from Halifax to Boston and returned to Liverpool, England, to which was met by his father, Albion Hartley, to whom he brought his son's body back to his childhood home of Colney, Lancashire. Hartley's funeral was held on May 18th, 1912 at the Bethel Independent Methodist Church, where he had been a choir boy, with 1,000 people in attendance with an estimated number of 30,000 to 40,000 lined up for the procession. The SS Arabic would resume her normal routes, but on July 28th, 1914, tensions and hostilities were initiated in Europe, with Austria-Hungary declaring war on Serbia after the assassination of the heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand. This would also trigger a domino effect of declarations, leading to a wider conflict on a continental scale. Britain would declare war on Germany just a week later. The Arabic continued her commercial service and was not called to be used as a troop ship or a hospital ship, unlike her contemporaries such as the Oceanic, the Olympic, and Britannic that would later be called up for war. But then, on May 7th of 1915, the RMS Lusitania was torpedoed by German submarine U-20 and sank in just 20 minutes, causing a significant loss of life and contributing to the United States' entry into the war, thus sparking the controversy and the outcry of unrestricted submarine warfare. Kaiser Wilhelm II issued secret orders for U-boats to not attack any of the large passenger vessels. Although the United States has not fully resolved the dispute with Germany over the Lusitania's sinking, Woodrow Wilson sent an ultimatum that the U.S. would regard any subsequent sinkings that harm American citizens. On August 19th of 1915, German submarine U-24 torpedoed and sank the SS Arabic, to which was sailing from Liverpool to the United States, in 10 minutes, causing 44 deaths, and among those deaths included 3 Americans. She was zigzagging when she was spotted by the German submarine, and the subcommander, Rudolf Schneider, said that he thought the Arabic was trying to ram his vessel. Without identifying, he submerged and attacked the Arabic without any warning. This would escalate the U-boat fear and cause any diplomatic incidents, to which resulted in suspending torpedoed non-military ships without any notice. The attack was met with panic from the German Chancellor Theobald von Bethenhahn Hollweg and the German Foreign Office under Gottlieb von Jagow, and the senior staff wrote angrily, "The attacks on the SS Ordona and the Arabic prove that new incidents with America are possible at any time. Both ships were torpedoed without previous warning while sailing to America. That the torpedo fired at the Ordona missed is only an accident." A twofold course was adopted as Jagow told U.S. Ambassador James W. Gerard about the order to not attack large passenger liners, breaking instructions to keep orders from Kaiser Wilhelm II a secret. Bethmann would arrange a conference with the major political parties and military leaders, as the Chancellor furiously proposed new orders that all passenger ships, not just the large ones, must be attacked under cruiser rules, and they should work with the Americans to press the British to adhere to the Declaration of London to loosen the blockade. This will be supported by Army leader Erich von Falkenhayn. Opposed was Grand Admiral Alfred von Tirpitz and Head of Admiralty Staff Gustav Bachmann, saying that Germany must not take any admission that the submarine war was illegal. The Chancellor used a belated telegram from the ambassador to the United States, Johann Heinrich von Bernstorff, on the situation in America to get his way. On August 23rd, Assistant Secretary Chandler met with Ambassador Bernstorff to explain that if Germany abandoned submarine warfare, Britain would be the only violator of American neutral rights. Both would meet at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and report to land, saying that Bernstorff immediately recognized the advantage of making Britain responsible for illegal acts unless Britain ended its war zone. Lansing would pressure on Bernstorff to agree to the following. America demands for indemnity for Lusitania and the Arabic incident will be decided by the Hague arbitration. Passenger liners will be sunk only after warning and the saving human life, provided they do not flee or to help. Upon rejection of the term liner, using the expression passenger ship. Should England, because of acknowledgement of this concession, abuse it, they will reserve the right to have further talks with America. If asked to explain the word abuse, then Germany should say that we would consider it an abuse if England tried to protect her freighters with a single American passengers. We expect efforts from the American side to reestablish the freedom of the seas, perhaps on the basis of the Declaration of London, and will be gladly willing to cooperate. If success ensues, we will conduct the submarine war only in accord with the Declaration of London. After agreement on the above basis, as mentioned, von Jagow will answer the last Lusitania note using the proposals and wired the notice of receipt. Bernstorff acted on the proposal, giving the Arabic pledge, liners will not be sunk by our submarines without warning and without safety of the lives of non-combatants, provided that the liners do not try to escape or offer resistance. The last issue is that Germany did not apologize or disavow the sinking of the Arabic, having to return to port, and wrote a report defending his actions as believing he was going to be rammed. This would be accepted by German authorities to avoid new conflict with the Navy. On the British side of the story, they were not attempting to ram, and the Foreign Office decided to accept their testimony while refusing to disavow Schneider and the Navy. This was evident as SMU-20 sunk an outward-bound ship named the RMS Hesperian, which was carrying wounded Canadian troops, and the body of Francis Stevens one of the victims of the Lusitania disaster, to be buried next to her late husband. Ironically, she would be sunk by the same U-boat and the same commander. The crisis of the Hesperian was diffused by the Germans via lying and claiming there was no submarines operating near the area. After Bernstorff returned to his office, he pretended the German government accepted American demands, editing the statement he composed. This statement read, "The German government regrets and disavows this action and notified Commander Schneider accordingly." This would be satisfied by Washington, and the Chancellor found out months later and reprimanded Bernstorff strongly in secret. Unrestricted submarine warfare will once again commence by Germany in January of 1917, targeting any ship, including civilian vessels, thus breaking the Arabic pledge, and thus one of the final actions leading to the United States declaration of war on Germany and entry into World War I on the side of the Allied powers. Once the war was over, Germany surrendered to the United Kingdom the North German Lloyd liner Berlin as war reparations as the ship was purchased. This would be the White Star Line's third SS Arabic, which served from September 7th in 1921 to her scrapping in December of 1931. Today, the SS Arabic lies approximately 50 miles south of Kinsale, Ireland, and in 95 meters of water, south of where the RMS Lusitania sank just months prior. The sinkings of both Lusitania and the SS Arabic were indeed tragic, but both brought out the controversy of unrestricted submarine warfare. While the sinking of the Lusitania did overshadow later incidents, it was the Arabic that helped ended unrestricted submarine warfare, even if it was just brief.